कोविड-19 ਦੀ ਚੌਥੀ ਵੇਵ ਦਰਮਿਆਨ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੋਰਡਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਕੁ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਤਣਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਕਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੋਰਡਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇਸ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਰ੍ਹੇ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ। ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ, ਪੀਲ, ਯੋਰਕ ਤੇ ਦਰਹਾਮ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਬੋਰਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਸਕੂਲ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਦਿਨ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਮਹਾਮਾਰੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਇਹ ਤੀਜਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਰ੍ਹਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ।
I'm happy that I'm going back to school so I can see all my friends again.
And you?
I'm happy so I can actually get to learn this time and not miss half of the school year.
And for you?
I'm happy to come back to school because I want to do my homework and try my best.
I'll be looking at it throughout the month of September, and towards the end of September we'll be consulting with Toronto Public Health, and hopefully there can be some revisions made, but you know, health and safety is number one.
How do you feel about day one of school?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I like going to school every day. I like to go to Blackburn because there's so many nice teachers.
What are you looking forward to most?
I don't know.
You don't know. How are you feeling?
Scared?
Why?
It's been a long time, maybe.
Forth, back and forth. They're like, we don't want to go back online. We want to be in school.
Probably by next week we're going to have that's almost 70%, a much higher rate, and then we'll work with the employees and all of the people who need to be vaccinated or to disclose it. Every board in the province supports this, and we've taken the initiative to write and ensure that the minister and the chief medical officer know that we support it as well.
ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਉੱਤੇ 23 ਸਾਲਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਲੜਕੇ ਦੀ ਹੋਈ ਮੌਤ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੱਕੀ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਸਿੱਖ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਰੋਸ ਪਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਜਾਂਚਕਾਰਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਮਾਮਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਤਲ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਪ੍ਰਭਜੋਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਖੱਤਰੀ 5 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਖਮੀ ਹਾਲਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲਿਆ। ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਹਸਪਤਾਲ ਲਿਜਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ। ਖੱਤਰੀ ਨੋਵਾ ਸਕੋਚੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੈਕਸੀ ਚਲਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਕੱਢ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ।
Something like this was never predicted or was something which you would never expect. He was, I think, the bread earner of the family or one of the main bread earners of the family, and he was supposed to take care of his mother and sisters.
We're working with the community to try to alleviate some of the fears, which are very real and understandable, and I sympathize with that. However, right at this point in our investigation, we're not prepared to speculate on motive.
ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਦੇ ਸਿਹਤ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਐਂਡਰੀਅਨ ਡਿਕਸ ਨੇ ਡੌਸਨ ਕ੍ਰੀਕ ਅਤੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਦੇ ਖੇਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਸਨੀਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਹਸਪਤਾਲ ਦੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇਣ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਇੱਕ ਟੀਮ ਗਠਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਮਰੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਈਸੀਯੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਾਖਲਾ ਅਤੇ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਪ੍ਰਕਿਰਿਆ ਬਾਰੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕਾਰਡ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਰਜਿਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਂਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ।
Thank you very much. My name is Adrian Dix. I'm BC's Minister of Health, and I just wanted to, we received quite a few inquiries from the media and requests for interviews today, so I thought I'd make myself available to answer some of those questions. I did have a few things to say off the top, and firstly that I'm honoured to be here on the territories of the Musqueam, of the Squamish, of the Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, and honoured to be here on their lands. I want to start by saying we have received some inquiries about a person who passed away in the emergency room in Kamloops, and there is an automatic process of review in these circumstances, and we can't talk about individual cases, but we know the impact on the lives of obviously of everyone around that person and everyone who works in the ER, who works in a dedicated and diligent way every day. We know in these times, these are very challenging times at Royal Inland and everywhere else, and so we are thinking of that family today. Our hearts are with them. We know that hearts are broken when someone passes away under any circumstances, and so I wanted to start by making that point because I know there's significant interest, and there'll be significant interest in Kamloops about that. I want to speak secondly, just to make a different sort of announcement today. In Dawson Creek, the government is increasing its and continuing its significant investment in healthcare. People will know that Dawson Creek has been in need and been working to get a new hospital for decades, and that a number of years ago we approved a concept plan, then a business plan, and now we are proceeding. And today we're announcing the selection. The preferred proponent has been selected for the design phase of the new Dawson Creek Hospital. It will be a standalone new hospital, and it demonstrates our government's commitment to Dawson Creek and to healthcare in the north. And that proponent, as a result of the evaluation process, there were 3 proponents shortlisted for the design early works agreement, and the winning proponent is Clark Builders. Turner HDR Architecture was selected, and I just wanted to make that note. I know many people in the north, in particular in Dawson Creek, will be interested in that news. Thirdly, I wanted to talk about the patients in our ICUs in BC affected by COVID-19. We have, and we don't have the full numbers. They'll be coming out at 2:30, 3 o'clock today in terms of COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. We do know that there are 130 people in critical care with COVID-19 at present in British Columbia. Of those 130, 111, a significant size hospital, are not.
ਪੰਜਮੁਖ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਬਹਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲਿਆ। ਵੋਟਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਜਿੱਤਣ ਦਾ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਇਹ ਆਖਰੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਬਹਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਉਠਾਏ ਗਏ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਫੋਰਡੇਬਿਲਟੀ, ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ, ਕੋਵਿਡ ਰਿਕਵਰੀ, ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਤੇ ਜਵਾਬਦੇਹੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਡੀਜੀਨੀਅਸ ਰਿਕਨਸੀਲੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ।
We recognize that there are systems and institutions that need to change across the country, and that's why from the very beginning we stepped up with policies, new policies, stronger policies and processes to support every survivor, everyone who comes forward, because nobody deserves to work in a workplace where they are being discriminated against, where they are being harassed or hassled. We have been unequivocal about that. My leadership has been unequivocal about that. Yes, these problems continue in workplaces across the country, particularly in the military. That's unacceptable, which is why we've taken even stronger measures. It's unsatisfactory to have to say, we're relying on process in this. We want to just be able to have easy answers.
Ms.
But this
Paul,
is
what's
not
your
an
response
issue
to that?
with easy answers. You have to fall back on process.
I have said before, and I'll say again tonight, that I do not believe that Mr. Trudeau is a real feminist. A feminist doesn't continue to push strong women out of his party when they are just seeking to serve. And I will say their names tonight and thank them. Thank you, Jane Philpott. Thank you, Jody Wilson-Raybould. Thank you, Selena Cesar Chavanez, and I'm here tonight thanks to the work that you have done. I believe that if there were more women on this platform tonight and in previous years, that we in fact would have better laws in our military. We would have childcare at this point. We would have many of the things that we need. I am the only woman other than Elizabeth May to be on this platform in the last 18 years. The Liberal Party has never had a woman lead it. I think it's time for the party to examine its priorities.
Ms. Hall, you'll perhaps understand that I won't take lessons on caucus management from you.
And I think
what I will keep focused on is making sure that our first woman finance minister has moved forward.
ਮਹਾਮਾਰੀ ਕਾਲ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਕੇਅਰ ਸੈਂਟਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਵਾਧਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਅਤੇ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਕੀਤੇ, ਪਰ ਪਿਛਲੇ 18 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ। ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਵਕੀਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਦਲਿਆ।
My fear was that every time I stepped outside of my dad's room was what's happening to all the other residents. It feels more like a prison than a home.
The system failed the residents who died. The system failed the residents and employees who got infected.
We have actually been able to see the conditions that seniors are currently living in and have been living for the past decades.
Federal government does have power to look after the health of the nation, and so it could use those powers if it wanted to do that.
We're now starting to see the deaths mount again, and what it tells me is that when we haven't fundamentally fixed some of the issues, we're just going to keep seeing repeated issues of outbreaks. They started saying, let's do what we can to support people in their own homes for as long as possible, because that's often can be done at half the cost as what it would cost to care for somebody in a long-term care home.
This is still happening. There's still people crying out for help, and there's no one there to help.
ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ 20 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ 44ਵੀਆਂ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਚੋਣਾਂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਦੌਰਾਨ CBC ਦੇ ਵੋਟ ਕੰਪਾਸ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਰਵੇਖਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਗ ਲੈਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਲਗਭਗ 3 ਲੱਖ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਮੁਤਾਬਿਕ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਵਰਤਮਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਅਤੇ ਭਰੋਸੇਮੰਦ ਸੰਘੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇਤਾ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਲੋਕਪ੍ਰਿਯਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਲਈ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ। NDP ਚੋਣਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਰਫ 20% ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸਮਰਥਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੀਜੇ ਸਥਾਨ ਤੇ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ 33.7% ਅਤੇ ਲਿਬਰਲ 31.2% ਹਨ, ਜੋ 20 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੋਣਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰੀਬੀ ਮੁਕਾਬਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੰਦ ਹੋਣ ਲਈ ਤਿਆਰ ਹਨ। NDP ਨੇ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਨਿਰਧਾਰਿਤ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਬਹਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ 24 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸੀਟਾਂ ਜਿੱਤਣ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਹਮਲਾਵਰ ਦਬਾਅ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਸਹੁੰ ਖਾਧੀ ਹੈ। ਸਿੰਘ ਕੋਲ ਇਹ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਮੌਕਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਦੂਜੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਨੇਤਾਵਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਹਨ।